Picture this: Friday night in Willow Creek Estates, the kind of cookie-cutter suburb where everyone smiles on trash day and pretends their lawns aren't secretly judged by the HOA Gestapo. Deborah Harrington, real estate queen, HOA president, and self-appointed savior of property values, is crouched behind her hydrangeas with binoculars when she spots what she's convinced is a full-blown cartel summit right next door. She dials 911 with shaking fingers, voice cracking like she's reporting the apocalypse. There's a garage party, but it's not normal. Folders, monitors, serious men everywhere. You have to send units now. Little does Deb know the only thing getting raided tonight is her own fragile ego. Ethan Brooks had always believed in transparency. That's why, after 12 years in corporate cybersecurity, he converted his 3-car garage into the headquarters of Shield Guard Consulting. Open door during business hours, monitors visible from the street, clients walking in and out like it was the world's most boring coffee shop. No hidden back rooms, no tinted windows. Just clean desks, encrypted laptops, and thick assessment folders that made executives feel like they were actually buying something real. The setup screamed legitimate to anyone with half a brain. To Deborah Harrington, it screamed meth lab with better Wi-Fi. For 3 straight weeks, she turned her evening power walks into full surveillance ops. Same black yoga pants, same pastel cardigan, same fake smile when she waved at other neighbors. But the second Ethan's garage door rolled up at 9 sharp, Deb's notepad came out. She timed arrivals, snapped blurry phone pics, even started a private group chat titled Maple Lane Concerns with 3 other bored housewives who had nothing better to do than agree with her. Looks like coded handoffs, she'd whisper to Mrs. Patel over the fence. Those folders change hands like drug money. And the monitors, why so many screens for a consulting business? I'm telling you, property values are tanking because of this. Ethan noticed, of course. His own security cameras, the ones he installed for client demos, caught Deborah lurking in perfect 4K every single afternoon. He could have confronted her on day 4. Instead, he just smiled wider, waved bigger, and kept the garage door open even wider. Patience was his superpower. Let her build her little conspiracy theory. He'd let the truth do the heavy lifting later. The first official shot across the bow came on a Tuesday when Deborah showed up in her official HOA blazer, clipboard in hand like a weapon. "Ethan, sweetheart," she cooed, voice dripping artificial sweetener. "As your friendly neighborhood president, I have to ask, are you running a commercial operation here? Because HOA bylaws clearly state no visible business activity that could detract from our community aesthetic. Those monitors are practically glowing at night. Neighbors are concerned." Ethan leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, the picture of calm. "Deborah, every client signs in. Every session is visible from the sidewalk, and I pay my dues on time. You're welcome to come inside and see for yourself." "Coffee." She recoiled like he'd offered her poison. "Oh no, I couldn't possibly intrude. But I will be documenting. For the board meeting." She spun on her heel, muttering something about visual pollution and protecting our children. Ethan just chuckled and went back to work. Inside, though, he started a private folder labeled Deborah's Greatest Hits. Every time-stamped clip of her creeping, photographing, even once pretending to tie her shoe for 20 minutes while staring straight into his garage. He wasn't mad. He was collecting insurance. Word spread the way HOA gossip always does, fast and ugly. Deborah made sure of it. By the next week, Mrs. Patel was crossing the street to avoid eye contact. Mr. Thompson from 2 doors down started triple-locking his gate. The monthly newsletter suddenly included a passive-aggressive paragraph about home businesses that respect community standards. Ethan's client count didn't drop. If anything, the cops and security firms he consulted for loved the drama. Free advertising, one detective joked during a session. Deborah's paranoia leveled up when Ethan upgraded his demo rig, new monitors, a small server rack, encrypted radios for live breach simulations. To any rational human, it looked like professional equipment. To Deborah, it looked like the Batcave for suburban crime lords. She escalated. Board emails. Anonymous complaints to the city zoning office. A late-night wellness check suggestion that somehow never materialized. All while Ethan kept the garage door open like a middle finger wrapped in politeness. Then came the Friday night client appreciation barbecue. Ethan sent one innocent neighborhood email. Casual garage hangout 7 p.m. Family's welcome, pizza on me. Nothing fancy. Just a thank you to the dozen regulars who'd trusted him with their company's darkest secrets. Half of them were off-duty cops anyway, guys he'd helped run penetration tests for local departments. Deborah saw the email chain and lost what little remained of her mind. She spent the afternoon pacing her living room, muttering to her husband, who had long stopped listening. Families. That's how they launder it. Hide the deals behind kids and pizza. I've seen the folders. I've seen the handoffs. This ends tonight. By 6:45, the garage looked like the world's most wholesome crime scene. String lights up, coolers out, kids chasing each other around server racks while their dads laughed about firewall jokes. Ethan fired up the grill. The smell of burgers drifted across the cul-de-sac like a challenge. Deborah watched from her front porch, phone already in hand. At 7:28 exactly, she made the call. 911, what's your emergency? Her voice shook with righteous fury. There's suspicious activity at 142 Maple Lane, open garage, people exchanging documents, high-tech equipment, multiple men who look like they're conducting business. I'm the HOA president. I've been documenting for weeks. This is not normal. Send units immediately. The dispatcher sounded bored. Ma'am, is anyone in immediate danger? They're hiding in plain sight. Just send cars. 3 patrol units rolled and lights blazing 6 minutes later. Ethan was mid-flip on a burger when the sirens hit. He turned, confused, then saw Deborah marching toward the driveway like a general leading a crusade, pointing dramatically at his garage. Officers stepped out, hands near holsters, scanning the scene. And then the most beautiful moment in Willow Creek history happened. Sergeant Marcus Ruiz, one of Ethan's longest clients and head of the department's cyber unit, looked up from his paper plate and grinned. Williams? That you? Officer Williams froze. Ruiz? What the hell are you doing here? Behind him, Detective Lisa Chun waved a slice of pizza. Hey Sarge, you guys crashing the party too? The entire garage erupted in cop laughter. Kids kept playing. Burgers kept sizzling. Deborah's face went from triumphant red to corpse white in 0.4 seconds. Williams turned to her slowly. Ma'am, you called us on a bunch of off-duty officers and their families? Deborah sputtered. But the folders, the monitors, they were signing things. Ruiz held up his half-eaten slice. Yeah, we were signing off on quarterly security assessments. Then we signed the pizza delivery receipt. Real hardcore cartel stuff. The other officers were already pulling out phones, recording for the group chat that would destroy Deborah's reputation before sunrise. Ethan finally spoke, voice calm as ever. Deborah, I did offer you coffee last week. Could have cleared this up over 1 cup. She tried one last desperate swing. I was protecting the neighborhood. Property values, community standards. Williams cut her off with the citation book already open. Ma'am, false emergency report. $750 fine. And I'm pretty sure the HOA board's gonna want a word about wasting department resources. Deborah stood there under the flashing lights, clipboard trembling, while half the neighborhood watched from their lawns. Mrs. Patel actually laughed out loud. Mr. Thompson started slow clapping. The officers stuck around, because why not? Free pizza, good company, and the chance to watch an HOA tyrant get absolutely cooked in real time. They turned the raid into an impromptu block party. Kids got to sit in patrol cars. Ethan passed out business cards like candy. Deborah slunk back to her house alone, the sound of laughter chasing her the entire way. By Monday, the board had called an emergency meeting. Ethan simply emailed them the folder. Every clip of Deborah's 3-week stalking spree, time-stamped, crystal clear. No threats, just facts. She resigned before lunch. Last anyone heard, Deborah Harrington was focusing on her real estate career in a different zip code. The new HOA president? A retired detective who thinks open garage doors are charming. Ethan still runs Shield Guard out of the same garage. Door stays open. Clients still come. And every Friday night the cops swing by for burgers, because nothing builds community quite like watching a Karen get exactly what she ordered. So here's the question that's been keeping the whole neighborhood up at night. Deborah was just an overzealous president doing her job, protecting property values, or was she the real neighborhood menace abusing power until it blew up in her face? Drop your verdict below. Team Deborah or Team Ethan? I'm reading every single comment.